Charlotte Flair has been suspended by WWE. On the October 22nd, 2021 episode of SmackDown, which of course was the night after Crown Jewel, we saw a segment at the end of the show where Becky Lynch and Charlotte were involved in a women's championship exchange. And this was done, obviously, because of the fact that Charlotte Flair was drafted to SmackDown, and she was the current Raw Women's Champion when she was drafted to SmackDown. And then Becky Lynch, of course, who at the time was the SmackDown Women's Champion, and she was drafted to Monday Night Raw. So WWE decided that the best idea to fix this issue was to have both women exchange the championships. So now Charlotte Flair is the SmackDown Women's Champion and Becky Lynch is the Raw Women's Champion. But during this segment, there was something that fans did not notice that caused a massive heated confrontation backstage, where we saw Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair shouting at each other, yelling at each other, and Charlotte Flair is in big trouble. So during this segment, we saw Becky Lynch try to grab the Raw Women's Championship from Charlotte Flair. But Charlotte Flair started playing around with Becky Lynch, not allowing Becky Lynch to grab the Raw Women's title easily. So this led to Charlotte dropping the Raw Women's title on the ground. And this is where time stood still, and it was a very awkward moment. And this moment where Charlotte just dropped the title, that's what led to this backstage confrontation between Becky Lynch and Charlotte. And Becky Lynch was very upset about the fact that Charlotte Flair had basically gone into business for herself by just dropping the title on the ground and not allowing Becky Lynch to take the Raw Women's Championship. And this actually led to Charlotte Flair being escorted out of the arena. It's also being said that Vince McMahon was very upset about this situation, and he puts all of the blame not on Becky Lynch. He puts all the blame on Charlotte Flair, because if she just would have went along with the angle, the title exchange, and just gave Becky Lynch the championship, none of this would have happened. There would be no shouting match. This now has led to Charlotte Flair getting suspended by WWE. Now, we don't know how long the suspension is going to be, whether it's an indefinite suspension, which should be for several months, or if it's a 30-day suspension or even less than that. But that has yet to be revealed, because this is a breaking news story that has just happened over the last 24 hours. But now we have to ask the question, what is Charlotte Flair's future in WWE? We'll have to wait and see if Charlotte Flair is even still in the company after this suspension is lifted. Brock Lesnar has stolen the Universal Championship. On the October 22nd, 2021 episode of Friday Night SmackDown, we saw Brock Lesnar try to get his revenge on Roman Reigns after Roman hit Brock with the Universal title and got the 3 count. And of course, we saw Brock attack Roman, and then later on, we saw Brock attack WWE official Adam Pearce and get suspended indefinitely. But there was one thing that fans did not notice during all of this chaos, and it involved Brock Lesnar stealing the Universal Championship. So in between the segments of Brock attacking Roman and Brock attacking Adam Pearce, Brock got into the ring, and in the ring was the Universal Championship. So Brock grabbed the title and put it over his shoulder, and then a few seconds later, he held the title up in the air, and then SmackDown went to a commercial break. Now, if you noticed, when Brock was holding up the title, Roman looked horrified. He was shocked that Brock Lesnar had the Universal title in his hands. And what fans don't know is that this is the beginning of a long-term storyline that will culminate at WrestleMania 38. So now let's go into the details of this upcoming shocking storyline. So the plan right now is for it to be announced that Brock Lesnar has stolen the Universal Championship. Now, technically, Roman Reigns will still be the Universal Champion, but the problem is Brock Lesnar is suspended. So it's almost impossible to get the Universal Championship back in Roman Reigns' hands. So, in the meantime, until Brock Lesnar's suspension is lifted, WWE is going to award Roman Reigns a new Universal Championship. It'll just be the same blue Universal title, but a different copy of it. And the plan is that when Brock Lesnar's suspension is lifted, which is rumored to take place around early to mid-January, Brock will come back and he will return with the Universal title in his possession. And this will lead to a match where at WrestleMania 38, we see Roman Reigns put the new Universal Championship, which was given to him after Brock stole it, and Brock will put the real Universal Championship that he stole from Roman Reigns. And this will all happen in a ladder match where both titles will be suspended above the ring, and to win the match, you need to grab both championships. This has been done before in WWE. It happened with CM Punk and John Cena, where both wrestlers claimed possession of the WWE title, but they had their own versions of the same title. It happened with Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon back in the 90s, and they had a ladder match. So this is going to be a very similar storyline to those feuds, and the real reason why WWE is doing this match, title for title, with Brock versus Roman at WrestleMania 38, is because they want the match to be the biggest match it can be. And not only that, it's because they want to create the most interest for this match possible. And Vince McMahon believes that having two Universal Championships on the line will create even more fan interest than the last Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns match at Crown Jewel. What are your thoughts on Charlotte Flair getting suspended by WWE? And what do you think about Brock Lesnar stealing the Universal Championship? Leave a comment and give me your opinion. And thanks for watching Wrestling News Now. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell notification so you don't miss our next video.